Planning for retirement can be quite an intimidating prospect. Besides, you're still young and you've got plenty of working years ahead of you to think about all of that. The truth is, the earlier you plan for your retirement, the better it will be. Making the most of your pension could be the difference between spending your golden years in Blackpool or the Bahamas. I'm sorry, Blackpool. In today's episode, I'm going to explain how UK pensions work and how you can get the most out of your pension for a successful retirement. Hello everybody, welcome to iQinvesting with me, Lewis, where we talk about saving, investing and everything in between. To ensure that you don't miss out on new content like this every Wednesday and Sunday, make sure to subscribe. Quick disclaimer, I am not a qualified investment advisor, I'm just an amateur investor who loves saving and investing. With that out of the way, let's dive straight into the world of UK pensions. A pension is quite simply a tax efficient way of saving for your retirement. There are a few different types of pensions, so I'm going to run through them all, just so it's clear. The first type of pension is the state pension. This pension is arranged by the government, and you can start to receive it when you reach your state pension age, which is dependent on your date of birth. I'll leave a link below to the government website, where you can calculate when you can start to receive your state pension. For reference, I'm 22 years old, and my state pension age is 68. The amount that you receive is based off your national insurance record, or quite simply, how long you've worked for. If you have contributed to national insurance for over 35 years, then you can receive a full amount. The full state pension is currently valued at £175.20 a week, or £9,110 in a year. This probably won't be enough to support your cost of living on its own, and there is no guarantee that the state pension will still be around when we reach the state pension age. This is why it's important to build up other types of pension. The second type of pension is an individual pension. These can either be personal pensions, stakeholder pensions, or self-invested personal pensions. These are basically pensions that are arranged by yourself, but you still benefit from the tax shielding. You can contribute a set amount each month towards your own personal pension, up to a maximum of £40,000 for the tax-free benefits. The money which you contribute to this plan is often invested, and you have a choice of where it is invested. This means that the final amount that you end up with is dependent on how much you pay into it and how well those investments perform. The third and final type of pension is the workplace pension. This pension is arranged by your employer. If you are between ages 22 and the state pension age, work in the UK and earn over £10,000 a year, your employer must auto-enrol you in a scheme. A percentage of your monthly wage goes into the pension pot each year, and your employer will match that contribution up to a certain amount. There are two types of workplace pension, a defined contribution and a defined benefit. A defined contribution pension is based on how much you and your employer pays into your pension and how well the investments perform. A defined benefit pension is based on your final salary or your average salary and how long you have worked for that employer. The higher your salary and the longer you have worked for the employer, the higher your defined benefit pension will be. As this is an investment-based channel, we will be focusing more on the defined contribution pension. To recap the three types of pensions, we have the state pension, the individual pensions and workplace pensions. Most people qualify for the state pension, but it is often not enough to support the cost of living on its own. Individual pensions allow you to save for your retirement in a tax-efficient way, whilst choosing how your savings are invested. In workplace pensions, your savings are tax-efficient, your contributions can be matched by your employer, and you have a choice of where your money is invested. Now that we know the basics of UK pensions, let's figure out how you can get the most out of your pension. So, you know what a pension is and how they work, but how can you maximise your pension savings? I'm going to break it down into a list of tips that you should follow when thinking about your pension. Number 1, it is never too early to save for your retirement. I know that it's easy to think that when you're young, your retirement is literally a lifetime away, so you have plenty of time to plan for it in the future. But, as with most concepts in investing, the earlier you start, the better off you will be. If you are working for an employer that will match your contributions, take that opportunity, no matter how old you are. You need to understand that this is literally free money. Although you may see less money in your wage as a net payment, you are actually making more money, as the amount that you are saving is getting doubled. This can be a hard concept for most people to grasp, because you can't see the free money directly. Just know that behind the scenes, in a pension pot which is not right in front of you, you will be saving money at a faster rate. You need to remember that these savings are also tax efficient. If you choose not to pay into a pension, then that money will be added to your net monthly wage after it has been taxed. The earlier you start adding to your pension, the longer you will be making the most of these benefits. Now we're on to number 2, which is to maximise any employer contributions when you can. As we have just explained, the employer contributions are free money. To get the most free money that you can, you need to find out how much your employer is willing to contribute. To do this, simply talk to your boss, finance manager, or whoever it is that manages the pensions at your workplace. All you need to ask is what is the maximum percentage of your pension contributions will they match. This value is normally 3% of your monthly wage, but it can be higher. This means that you should be paying at least 3% into your pension plan to make the most of this free money. If you are struggling to reach this contribution, as in you can't afford to give up that much of your monthly wage without struggling, then I recommend that you aim to improve your contributions to your pension when you get a pay rise at work. If you can avoid lifestyle inflation, then you shouldn't need the extra money from a pay rise. You can use this money to increase your contributions and get more free money. Next on the list is number 3, which is to not break into your pension pot. Now look, sometimes financial problems can arise, and it may seem that breaking into your pension pot could be a good solution. However, it is important that this is not even considered as an option. To avoid this from happening, I recommend that you build an emergency fund to give you a safety net of cash to land on when unexpected payments arise. I talk more about the importance of having an emergency fund in another video, which you can find by clicking on the card in the top right corner. There are 2 reasons why you should not withdraw from your pension pot. First of all, your pension is meant for retirement, so keep it that way. When you are retired, your pension will likely be your only source of income at that time. If you withdraw from it now, you may be adding unnecessary stress in your later years when you don't have a job. Nobody would want to come out of retirement early because their savings aren't enough, so don't risk it. Secondly, if you withdraw from your pension under the age of 55, you break the tax barrier. This means that any savings which you withdraw from your pension will be charged with tax deductions. On top of that, many pension providers advise against early withdrawals and can simply refuse to do so. This means that you could need a third-party company to do this for you, which can have fees of up to 30%. When this all adds up, you could be left with as little as 20% of your savings that you withdrew. This would obviously be devastating. So, you know what to do. Don't touch your pension savings early. And, last but not least, number 4 on the list is to choose where your savings are invested. This is a hugely important decision that you should make, and it should not be overlooked. As discussed before, the savings that are in your pension are often invested. But where? Most people don't realise that they actually have a choice of where their money is invested. If you already have a pension plan and you haven't even thought about this, then it is likely that your money is invested in the default pension plan which your pension provider selects. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but this investment might not meet your risk preferences. I'll explain what I mean by that in my example. My pension provider is Scottish Widows. If I had chosen to take the default investment approach, then my money would be invested in their standard pension portfolio funds. This consists of a balanced amount of equities and fixed interest securities. Or, you could say that my investments would roughly be 50% stocks and 50% bonds. However, I am a young investor and I am willing to take on more risk, so I want my portfolio to consist of 100% stocks. Also, as you know, I'm a huge believer in diversification as it improves risk-adjusted returns. Therefore, I can ask Scottish Widows to invest my pension savings in the fund that I would prefer. For me, this would be a globally diversified 100% equity index fund, as that meets my preferences. So, I suggest that you look on your pension provider's website and find a fund that suits you best. This means that you will be more in control of your savings and you can choose a risk profile which you prefer. So, make sure to make use of all of the tips that I have given for maximising your pension. Number 1, it is never too early to save for retirement. Number 2, maximise any employer contributions when you can. Number 3, do not break into your pension pot. And number 4, choose where your savings are invested. If you make use of all of these tips, I can guarantee that you will have a more successful retirement. Pensions are used to save for retirement in a tax-efficient manner. Most people will qualify for a state pension, but it will likely not be enough to support your cost of living. You therefore need to make the most of your workplace or individual pension for a successful retirement. Paying into your pension from an early age, maximising employer contributions, not touching your pension before age 55, and choosing where your money is invested can all maximise your pension savings. Yes, retirement can often be a distant thought, but the better you prepare for it, the better your golden years will be. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for new saving and investing content every Wednesday and Sunday. If you found this video useful, then smash the like button and share it with some friends so that they can learn about this too. I know that pensions can be complex, so if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.